Hello, hello. It's Lolli Ppoppo. Hope you're doing well. Alright, let me get all teed up here. Continuing on with 9-rip. Getting festive for tomorrow. The pre-Valentine's festivities. Alrighty. Who am I? Where am I? Let's pull up the game. Oh, let's fly me to the moon. Alrighty. Let's see. Oh, this is the Squid Game version? Interesting. That's Neon Genesis Evangelion as well. Okay. Let me see. Let's try and recap what happened last week. Legion, hello, welcome. Hope you're doing well. We're doing 9-rip again. Some Otome game goodness. It's been pretty good so far. Alrighty. Let's see. Okay, last we left off, Okay. A very, very important question. My day's good, thank you. Appreciate you asking. Yeah, no, it's been nice. Second. Do I want a virtual card for Valentine's Day? I guess, sure. Either way, is that something that you want to give? Oh, that's very sweet of you. Well, thank you. Appreciate that. I do like Valentine's, Palentine's, also Single People Awareness Day. Any name it goes by, I like it. But yeah, that's very sweet of you. Thank you. I'll appreciate that. I'm a card person, so yay. Okay. Okay. Sounds good. Thank you so much, Legion. Alrighty. Let's see. I'm trying to remember what happened on the episode last week. So, Legion, I don't know if you've seen me play this game yet, but basically it's let's see. Otome, like visual novel games, usually have multiple like love interests, and within that, then there's multiple endings per love interest. So this one is like kind of a spoopy spin on it. Most of our boyfriendos have been ghosts or part of the like other spirit world. So yeah, so it's really really good. I like it. Great voice acting, great artwork, compelling story so far. So yeah, I've already done one playthrough and I'm doing another one. So yeah, it's good stuff. It's good stuff. Let's see. Last week we what did we do? Oh, we unlocked some more. Yeah, ghosts. Yeah, the first playthrough we did, um, there were all these like myths at our school as like urban myths, and so we were trying to like dispel some of those, but we got spirited away, so we had to like work together with the ghosts to like get out of there. And this playthrough, apparently I'm a ghost, so that's different. I was not expecting to be a ghost in this playthrough, but I think there's something else to it. I think somebody cursed me. Yeah, they're all and in this one all the love interests are male love interests and it's a female protagonist, but they're not all like that. Some of them are LGBTQ friendly. Some of them have a lot of like, choice, so you could be a male protagonist and have female interests. But this one in particular, yeah, all guys, all ghost guys. But there's still some good female characters in the game. We had a supporting ghost that was pretty awesome. So, yeah. Alrighty. So I think where we left off, we certain things like we don't remember the day that like we passed over to the ghost world, so we're trying to like unlock that mystery. Like we're getting like little fragments of like what happened, and then there's two ghosts that we're working with mainly. One's going to be our main love interest, the other one is a future love interest probably. So yeah. They got the lover's spirit, indeed, indeed. Yeah. All right. So yeah, there's two love interests in this featured in this playthrough, but only one of them will you get to pursue. So one of them we're calling Monster Energy Drink, because that's what his like aesthetic kind of looks like right now. And then the other one's like a pop star. So who doesn't realize that he has passed on? So that's gonna be a bummer. So, but when somebody has to break the news to him, so okay. Let's see. After that, I tried taking the career survey to a variety of places to try and get the visions to occur, but they simply wouldn't. How many places have I been to already? With no progress, I felt my heart breaking. Staring at the printout in my hand, I tried to think of how to conjure a memory from that day. Yeah, I'm rising up ghosts, ghosts are rising up me, yeah. And we're hoping to get good endings, not bad endings, because some of them are, there's some bad endings that you could get if you don't play your cards right, if you don't make the right choices. So the front of the Tsukumo shrine seemed the most likely place. I'd gone there but saw nothing. I thought it would be the memory of being hit by a car. I had learned about the incident from Koyo, but I still couldn't remember it happening. Feel like you've seen a YouTube series like this at one point? I wouldn't be surprised. It's a pretty standard formula. The most of these like visual novel games. So you've got your trope, male interests or love interests, and but some of them, like I said, have a pretty compelling story. So this one's been pretty interesting so far. So. It wasn't that I didn't believe him, but I wanted to experience the memory for myself. If I can't remember that moment, what's the point of any of this? Okay, this is the pop star. He's not the one that we're actively romancing, but he is a future, like you can pursue his romance path. I'll probably do that in the future. I turned to face the voice that called out to me and found Senna standing there.
こんな時間まで何やってるの？まだ制服のままだし。まさかあれから一度も家に帰ってないの？
He spoke in a nervous and worried tone. I turned to look at the clock in the shopping mall and saw it was already 9 p.m. From his perspective, I got sick in the afternoon and still haven't returned home. It made sense that he was worried. I have something I have to do, so I just stopped by here real quick. Of course, I'll head home right after this. Try as I might to calm him down, Senna's questioning continued.
じゃあ、制服なのはどうして？
I went home and fell asleep. Then I woke up and remembered the thing I had to do and came here. Okay, well, thank you so much for popping in to say hi, Legion. All right, I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye. Senna looked at me suspiciously.
もう用事は終わった？
Yep, just wrapped up. Heading home now. Is he buying this? Senna let out a loud sigh.
じゃあ、もう帰った方がいいよ。僕が家まで送るね。
Thank you. Wait, what? You want to take me home?
だって心配だもん。こんな時間に女の子一人で帰らせられないよ。
I understood what Senna was saying, and I was genuinely grateful for his concern. But I didn't have to worry about any of that now. I'm a ghost after all, though I can't say that to him now. Maybe I can just flash him a smile and get him to calm down. My house is nearby, so don't worry about it.
ダメ。昼間もそうだけど、ここで会ったのも何かの縁だしね。さ、行こう行こう。
Wait a minute. He took my hand and began pulling me in the direction of the exit. I had no choice but to follow him. We left the mall and walked for some time before reaching my house. It's okay now. We really are close. I stopped and pulled my hand away from Senna's. I'll be okay from here. My house is in this neighborhood, so... What is it?
さっき、すぐそこって言っていたけど、結構歩いたよね。
Well, yeah, that's...
まあ、いくら僕が有名人だからって、今日会ったばかりの人間に家を知られたくないよね。君を送っている間に考えたんだ。僕こそ不審者だなって。
He wore an apologetic smile as he let go of my hand.
ごめん。不安だったよね。ただ、君が心配ってだけだったんだ。それ。
Of course I understand. I never once thought you were acting weird. I know that you're a good person, Senna. For Senna, each and every day we met was the first time. And yet, he was always so sweet to me. I know you were just worried about me, from the bottom of your heart.
君は、どうして、そこまで僕を
Because... I'm a fan! Because I'm a fan of yours, Senna. Well, I'm a fan of Senna the person, not necessarily Senna the idol. Senna chuckled at my response.
君はファンじゃないでしょ。だって、僕に対してあまりにも普通なんだもん。
Guess you caught me. Guess you didn't really understand what I was trying to say.
でも、君がファンじゃなくてもいいかもって思ってるんだよね。
And why is that?
一目惚れの相手には、アイドルのセナじゃなくて、僕自身を見てほしいから。
Oh, that's right. Today's Senna thinks he fell in love at first sight with me. But I guess Senna really does believe he fell in love at first sight with me. Just thinking about it made me embarrassed.
困ってるね。
I'm sorry.
君には迷惑かもしれないけど、僕は考えずにいられないんだ。君と僕の間には何かあるんじゃないかって。
He wasn't totally wrong about that, and I wanted to know why he felt that way. And what makes you say that?
それがね、僕にもわからないんだ。でも、恋心って言葉ではうまく説明できないものだから。
As he spoke, Senna outstretched his arm toward me. He gently touched my hair, and I felt my heart beat feverishly. That's a little ticklish. I spoke hesitantly, but Senna merely continued to smile.
笑顔もいいけど、そうやって照れる姿も可愛い。
Oh, Carrie, hi! I'm so sorry. Your name is the same color, and so I lost your name got lost in the chat messages. So, hello, welcome. I hope you're doing well. Hope you're having a good Thursday, a pre-Valentine's. So, yay! Okay, give me a second too. I'm gonna make crinkly noises while I pull out some candy. I'll try not to chew and talk, but I'm not guaranteeing that it's going to be 100% win rate here. But yeah, I've got these champagne gummy bears, so yeah. Okay. It was the first time a man had ever said something like that to me, and I had no idea how to respond. Senna, I think you've got the wrong idea.
あ、また否定する。そういう風に言われるとショックだな。とはいえ、これ以上はダメだよね。
When he took his hand away, I felt a sense of relief.
そんなあからさまにホッとした顔しないでよ。
Well, what did you expect? I was so nervous. How am I supposed to act?
その緊張っていい意味でかな。
I'm done with this conversation.
あ、ごめん。お願いだから許して。
Look at that panic on this guy. Yay. Seeing him beg for forgiveness like this, I decided to tease him. I'll forgive you, but in exchange, you have to promise to remember me. As expected, he stared back at me, dumbfounded.
そんなことでいいの？僕が君を忘れるなんてありえないのに。
Shadow, hello! It's good to see ya. Happy Thursday. Hope you're doing well. Yeah, we are continuing from where we left off last week. This guy is not actually our main love interest that we're pursuing, but I feel like he's gotten more screen time than the guy that we're pursuing. So yeah. Let's see. Yeah. So, anyways, he saw us at the mall and he's like, "What are you doing here? I thought you were sick." And I was like, I was." And he's like, "I'm gonna take you home." And it's like, okay. So we've just been walking around and he's like, "Oh, I'm sorry. Like, am I making you uncomfortable? Like, I guess you don't know me. Like, I shouldn't take you home." And it's like, yeah, no, I know it comes from a good place, but there's just a lot of explanations that have to happen here. So we have asked him to promise not to forget us. His words made my heart ache. If only that were true. Well then, if it really is love at first sight, you won't forget me. I didn't know why I said the words, but I hoped somehow that they might make a difference. Perhaps if he remembered me, even a little, I could use his love at first sight to help.
忘れないよ。約束。
He held out his pinky for a pinky promise. Please, Senna. Please don't forget me. I had no idea if that would help him cross over, but I didn't want him to forget me anymore. Until we meet again, then. With that, I left him. Ghost didn't get tired. I knew that, but after all that had happened that day, I felt emotionally drained. Groggy, I finally reached the nurse's office. As I did, Yui came rushing up to me.
こんな遅くまで帰ってこないから心配したじゃない。
Oh, that's very sweet of her. She's ghost mom worried. I was surprised to see her speak so forcefully to me. She was worried about me? Knowing that I had a place to go home to and someone to worry about me. Queen Yoshi! Welcome to the Gaming Mines, reporting for duty. Good to see ya. Happy Thursday. Yeah. Just thought I'd do something a little festive. And I'm having champagne gummies. Thank you. Yeah, you haven't missed too much. Basically, we got caught by the pop idol at the mall, and he's like, "Yo, what are you doing here? I thought you were going home." And it's like, "I did." And so he walked us home, quote unquote. And he keeps saying, like, you know, he feels connected to us. It's like love at first sight because he keeps forgetting us every day. And so we made him pinky promise that he would not forget us. So. You're in the Balatro mines too? Nice. Ooh, and in the drawing mines? Nice. Oh, that's exciting. Actually, I also did a teeny tiny non-zero amount of drawing today as well. Not as much as I would like, but I was actually helping my niece, and she bought this. They had a cool book fair, and she got a book that was like how to draw anime and manga, and I was like, ooh, I was like, oh, my heart, yay! So I'm excited for her to draw more and stuff like that. I thought that was pretty fun. Yay. But I forgot how fun book fairs were. And I know that like we're grown-ups and like we have bookstores now, but it hits different, I think. I don't know why. Let's see. It filled my heart with warmth. Yeah. I miss it too. And like I said, even though I could like just go into a bookstore, it's just, I guess it's nice because it's a lot of choices but also not a lot. Like it's a lot of very curated choices. So maybe there's like, you know, 25 books to choose from, 25 to 50 books to choose from, right? But they're all catered to like, kids and that kind of stuff, whereas like the whole bookstore, it's almost like it's too much choice. What is it? Analysis paralysis? Yeah. So sorry, I didn't mean to make you worry. There's just a lot I wanted to look into. After sighing with relief, I told Yui about all the things I'd found that day. When I finished, she looked as happy as though she had been the one to make all this progress in crossing over.
生前おかしな声が聞こえていたというのが気にかかるわね。
That's true, but the fact that I can't remember my death seems odd as well. Either way, it all seems very mysterious.
ええ、普通ではないと思う。
Hearing her say it so bluntly made me realize just how strange it all was. Koyo was surprised I couldn't remember my death too.
そのおかしな声、闇へ誘うものだけれど、一概に悪いとは思えないのよね。
I wonder. I think that invitation into the darkness is what caused me to die.
そうなのだけれど、闇へ誘うものがあなたに告げた内容はすべて悪い意味のようには思えないの。だって困難は降りかかるけれど、前を向いていれば大丈夫ってそうも言っていたのよね。
Yeah, I suppose so. That's true, the voice did say that. Up until this point, I had been focused solely on the identity of the voice itself. For now, I've decided it's best just to try and gather up the pieces of the printout and restore my memory. One sec, I want to reply to something. Okay, boop. Ta-ta. Okay. Okay. Once I do that, I'll know who invited me into the darkness and what their words meant.
ええ、そうね。考えているだけでは答えは出ないのだし。
Right, I've got to do my best so I can cross over. I spoke with determination, but somewhere in the back of my mind, I thought of him. Senna isn't able to think about things like this. It made sense that Koyo felt the way he did about Senna, too. As I got to know the two of them, I had trouble thinking of Senna's problems as somehow separate from my own.
あなたを見ていると、私も勇気が湧いてくるわ。頑張らないとって思わされる。
Yui, have you thought about crossing over? Until that point, I realized I hadn't asked very many questions about her. Actually, it wasn't just her. The lingering regrets of the dead was surely a sensitive topic. It wouldn't be right to go around asking just anyone about them.
私はあまり思わない。いえ、自分のことは考えていないの。やらなければならないことがあって、それがうまく運べばそれでいいから。けれど、臆病者の私は それから逃げていて。
I could never imagine Yui running away. She always struck me as rather dignified.
でもあなたと関わるようになって頑張る姿を見ていたら、私もしっかりしないとって思えたわ。いつまでも閉じこもっていられない。他の幽霊と接することが苦手だったけれど、そろそろ外へ出ないとね。
I didn't know all the details, but if she was doing her best to move forward now, if there's anything I can do to help, don't hesitate to lean on me.
ありがとう。あなたもいつでも私を頼ってね。
Right. The two of us smiled at each other.
とりあえず休んだ方がいいわ。今日はもう考えるのをやめなさい。
You say that, but I just end up thinking even if I don't want to. Yui made a troubled face, then turned to look at me with a smile.
それならおしゃべりしましょうか。外のことを教えてくれる？今の流行などをね。
I found her suggestion to be very charming and I felt my heart leap. And so the two of us chatted until morning. In the morning, after spending the night talking with Yui, I decided to go out for a bit. My aim, of course, was to try and unlock the memories contained in the career survey sheet. As I passed the school gate, thinking about where I should go first, I spied Koyo walking up to me. Good morning, Koyo.
おはよう。今日は機嫌良さそうじゃん。
I took some time to relax, that's why.
そっか。それならよかった。
He smiled back at me before his face turned gravely serious.
あんたに話があってきたんだ。今少しいい？
Sure, what's up? That's right, Monster Energy. I was mentioning how he's had less screen time than the pop idol, I feel like. So hopefully that's going to turn around, given that it's his route that we're doing.
セナのこと。昨日あいつと病院に行った。
How did Koyu hear about that? Did Senna tell him last night? Yeah. No, we didn't end up going. Before we could reach it, Senna's memory was... How should I put it? Erased? Yeah, I thought we sidetracked. I don't know. Like, every time Senna talks, he's so sweet. And it's just kind of like, oh, should I have picked... should I have picked differently? But we'll get to it in good time. In good time. When I told Koyo about yesterday, he looked back at me with surprise. Something about that made my heart beat faster. I decided to ask him about something that was bothering me. Him next? Yeah, down for that. Okay. Did something happen, Senna? Oh, yeah, absolutely. He keeps saying it's love at first sight every day that he sees us, so it's kind of romantic every day, in a way. It's like that honeymoon butterfly, butterflies every day. Did something happen to Senna? Koyo stayed silent, but his face told me he was debating whether or not to tell me something. He's probably going to tell me not to get involved with this. I figured he'd tell me that I have my own issues to focus on instead. Please just tell me, Koyo. I want to help Senna too. Still, Koyo remained silent. Koyo? After a while, he sighed as though he'd given up.
あんたと関わることでセナに変化があった。あんたに関する記憶だけが完全にリセットされてないみたいで覚えてるっぽいんだよね。
Really?
うん。ただあいつ自身も混乱してる。
My initial feelings of joy were complicated by the news that it was causing him to be confused. I wondered if I was doing more harm than good to Senna. Why is it that he only remembers the memories with me?
俺なりに考えたんだけど。
We're tied together. The red string of destiny.
まずセナが生きている頃の健康な状態の日を繰り返してるっていうのは覚えてるよな。
Right. He keeps resetting back to before he found out about his illness.
そう。 だからあいつは大体において決まった行動をとってるし、毎日会う幽霊は俺だけ。俺より先にあいつは死んでるから、俺は途中からあいつのルーティンに加わったわけだけど、俺に会うことはあいつにとって何も違和感はない。生前からの友達だし、この成見ヶ浜は俺たちの地元だから。でもあんたは違う。
I see. I began to get the gist of what Koyo was saying.
多分俺以外の幽霊で毎日セナと顔を合わせているのはあんたくらい。
That was true. I had seen Senna every day since I became a ghost.
そしてセナの生前にあんたはいない。つまりあんたはイレギュラーな存在。
That made sense. I was someone who wouldn't have been there in Senna's healthy days, but now he was seeing me every day. So I'm causing him this confusion? If his memory can't totally reset, then I'm gonna ruin his happy routine. Koyo shook his head.
その幸せは偽りでしかない。あんたはもしかしたらセナに現実を見せられるかもしれない。
Oh.
リセットがされなくなることで身の回りの変化に気づき、いずれは死んだと認識させられるかも。
If that happened, he might be able to face his lasting regrets. And perhaps he could cross over. So in that case, you want me to keep meeting with Senna, right? If I could help him change, then perhaps there was hope for him after all. But we don't want to throw him in despair, because then he'll turn into a wraith. Yet Koyo's face remained still.
あんたにはあんたのやるべきことがあるのにごめん。気が向いた時でいいからあいつに会いに行ってほしい。
When he finished speaking, Koyo bowed deeply with rare sincerity. In response, I said, "You don't have to tell me." Koyo, you don't have to ask me to do that. I was planning to keep seeing Senna anyway. Koyo quickly raised his face back up. Oh, jelly? Jelly? I mean, I want to help Senna cross over too. I found it terribly sad that he couldn't face reality and that he was stuck here.
サンキュー。本当に助かる。
He had jelly face for a hot second. Why are you thanking me? I'm doing this because I want to. I'm not doing it for you. Look at his face. He's like, I beg your pardon? Excuse me? You are not put here for me? Besides, I was thinking of going to visit Senna now anyway. I didn't want Koyo to feel guilty, so I told him that.
あんたって最高にいい女。
Ew. I'm a little surprised to hear him say that. I tried to hide my response and told him the same thing. I mean, you bowed pretty low asking me to help your friend. You're a pretty good guy yourself, Koyo. As I spoke, he seemed taken aback by my words as well. He quickly pulled up his mask before speaking.
セナなら駅前あたりにいると思う。
A shy boy. He's like, I put my mask on. You can't see me. All right. He quickly slipped by me and walked swiftly into the school. I figured he was going to see Koreha. That was kind of a weird moment we had just now. Even just thinking back on it made me feel embarrassed. I giggled to myself as I walked away. Okay, this is Koyo's perspective. I quickly entered the school and let out a sigh. I hadn't expected Lolli's response. I mean, I did call her best girl. Why did I say that? It just kind of slipped out. Is that how I really feel? I guess so. Lolli really is one of the nicest people I've ever met.
顔を隠して何をやっている？
Hey, Kureha. As soon as he finished speaking, I lowered my
ちょ
mask.
っと目。
ん？少し顔が赤いようだが、何かあったのか？
別に何もないし。
そうか。それならいいが。ところで、今日は何の用だ？
別に何もないけど。
Seeing Kureha's inquisitive gaze got on my nerves. Or maybe I just didn't want him to see me blushing like that anymore. And so I got up to leave the school.
俺行くわ。
ああ。またな。
Oh, poor Kureha. What is with me? Is it because Lolli called me a great guy? Nah, I called her best girl first. It's been a while since I've been so mixed up like this. I gotta get my head on straight. Near the station, I searched for Senna. Where is he? I looked through the crowd and let out a sigh. That's right. Knowing Senna, he's going to do his best to not be seen. In crowded places, Senna always tried to hide himself from others. I started looking around for inconspicuous places, like behind pillars. I walked around for a while until something flashy sparkled in my vision. Senna's external appearance. He seems to sparkle even after death. It makes it quite easy to find him in a crowd of people. Oh, he's got the Twilight thing going on. That's... Huh? Without thinking, I gasped. I didn't know why, but he was in a place with a lot of people. Senna! I called out to him as I approached, and his face lit up.
僕に気づいてくれたんだね。
I was shocked as he quickly grabbed me with both hands.
君くらいだよ。僕に声をかけてくれたのは。どういうわけか、みんなに無視されてしまって。僕の知名度はどうやら地に落ちたらしい。
Oh. I stared at Senna, who seemed to be in a state of total despair when it finally hit me. He had gone out of his way to be in a populated place. Yeah. I guess when there are so many people around, people don't really notice, huh?
本当にそういうもの？
Yeah, pretty sure. Either way, you shouldn't let it get to you.
君にそう言ってもらえて、ちょっと元気出てきた。
I smiled back at him, but inside I couldn't help but feel a little sad. So he forgot about me today too. The Senna that had fallen in love with me was already gone. Though I had shut him down all day yesterday. I'd be lying if I said I wasn't flattered. Changing his name from Binary Dude to Idol Dude. I like that. Yeah, sounds good. His usual expression returning, Senna nodded.
久しぶりのオフだから、地元に帰ってきていてね。せっかくだから、街に出て買い物でもしながら、懐かしさに浸ろうと思ったんだけど。
He trailed off. He sounded melancholic. Perhaps he was sad that no one in his hometown recognized him. In that case, how about we go for a walk? We can soak up the nostalgia together.
いいの？君これから学校なんじゃない？
Oh, right. I was still wearing my school uniform. We're off today. I just had an event at school. It was a flimsy excuse, but it seemed like he wanted to believe me, so he accepted it without protest. Well, now that we're here, I figured if we toured some of the places Senna and I visited together, he might remember me. With that thought in mind, I dragged him all around from place to place. But I simply couldn't get him to remember, and ended up just wasting time. Having exhausted all of our normal spots, we finally reached the ocean.
はあ。いろんなところを回れてすっごく懐かしいよ。
I'm glad to hear it. The whole thing left me depressed. I didn't expect his memory to come back all at once, but there wasn't even a hint of deja vu. Koyo told me this would happen, but he really doesn't remember me at all. Koyo would probably get upset if he knew I doubted him.
ごめん、疲れちゃったよね。僕ばっかり楽しんじゃったな。
No, I'm not tired at all. I really enjoyed taking you to all those places, Senna. That was the truth. I had enjoyed going to those places together with Senna, more than I had expected, actually. Perhaps it was because I was with Senna. His bright and bubbly personality always found a way to make me smile. There was something dynamic about him, and it was obvious why he'd become an idol.
この海浜公園はね、僕にとって世界で一番好きな場所なんだ。
Oh? So it's pretty special to you then?
うん。子供の頃は遊具で遊んだり、芝生広場で寝転んで星を眺めたりもしてさ。親友と夢を語り合った場所なんだ。
I figured the best friend was probably Koyo. I'd been watching the two of them for the past few days. They obviously cared about each other. I felt envious of both of them. Having passed away, I would never be able to talk with Sayaka again like that. Not to mention the way things ended with us. And she was still trying to save me. What did she think she could do? I was sure that she wanted to find a way to talk to me. I'm sure she was thinking the same thing I was. We both wanted to end things in some different, better way. That would make me so happy. I put my hand into my pocket and touched the career survey. If only I hadn't changed my plans for the future. I wouldn't have made her cry like that.
ねえ、どうしたの？
It's nothing. Don't worry about it.
僕さ、ラジオをやっているんだけど、お悩み相談のコーナーが大評判なんだ。
Oh?
だから、話を聞くのは得意だし、アドバイスもできると思う。
Was that really looking so gloomy that he felt like he had to say that to me? Yet the smile on his face and the warm glow in his eyes made me want to lean on him. And so I... Hold back! This is not his playthrough. I came here to help him, not myself. I couldn't allow him to help me out right now. What are you talking about? I'm fine, seriously. I tried to act as though nothing was bothering me and turned my face away from him.
そっか。そうだよね。ごめんね。勝手に決めつけちゃって。でも、なんでか。
Just real quick, I wanna save. Just good game hygiene. Okay.
君は何かを抱え込んでいる。それも前からそんな風に思っちゃってさ。
Before? His words reminded me of our second meeting. When we met at Tsukumo Shrine, he was very concerned about me then. Could it be? Is he remembering back to that time?
初めて会うのにおかしいよね。
As he spoke, he laughed and returned to his old self. It was just as Koyo said. There was something about me that Senna remembered. I wondered, perhaps if I told him about my concerns, I could create a deeper memory with him, one that he'd be sure to remember. And in the end, I decided to speak. I have this friend. She's been my best friend since childhood. Senna was the first person here I'd told about this. My voice faltered as I slowly told him the things that were causing me such grief. I hid the fact that I had died by telling him that the two of us were merely separated. Then when I told him everything, Senna began to speak slowly.
多分その親友の子はさ、急に聖銀大学に行かないってそう言われてショックだったと思う。詳しい理由もなしに、ただ違う気がするからって って言われて混乱したんじゃないかな。
I felt a sharp pain in my chest that gradually spread throughout my body. As I spoke to Senna, I got a better perspective of my actions and how I hurt those around me. I was filled with regret at what I'd done. I cast my gaze to the ground when I felt a gentle hand caressing mine. Looking up, I saw his eyes, staring kindly back at me.
君は抱え込みすぎていたんだよ。友達に話せば気を使わせるって。実はね、僕の親友は君にそっくりなんだ。何でも抱え込んで心配事を話してくれない。僕からしたらそれってすごく寂しくてさ。だって力になりたいじゃない。
As words struck me, I could tell he really meant them. I was wrong to tell her I wasn't going to Sagan the way I did. She must have wondered why I changed my mind. Had I been able to tell her why, perhaps things would have gone differently. I knew that I never would have realized that had Senna not listened to me. I wonder, perhaps the fact that he cared about me was why his memory didn't reset. That seems a little self-absorbed, but I couldn't help but wonder if it was true.
まあ、僕も同じようにあまり心配かけないようにしなきゃって隠していた部分はあるんだけどね。でもどうしてだかバレちゃうんだよね。僕ってわかりやすいのかな。
I think that's just called being honest. My friend's the same way. That's right. It was right here by the ocean. It was our first year of junior high. It was the first time I'd seen Sayaka in a long time, and she was acting strange. As I thought back on it, something came to me. What was this? This was my junior high classroom. This took me back, but why was I here? Why was I seeing this memory?
私ね、最近ネイルアートにハマってるんだ。私は海外ドラマよく見てる。木田さんは好きなものある？
Huh? Sayaka? But where was she? I didn't see her. And those girls, they were looking at me. Was this Sayaka's memory?
私が好きなのは幽霊とかお化けとかそういう話。え？オカルトってこと？うん、知ってる二人とも。この学校にも七不思議があるの。音楽室のしゃべる肖像画とか、理科室の動く人体模型とか。今度放課後見に行かない？でもちょっと怖くない？木田さんいつも怖い話するよね。怖い夢見ちゃうからやめてほしい。あ、ごめん。それよりもみゆちゃん、あのドラマ見た？見た。最後に言われてすぐ見たよ。小学校の時の方が。
No, poor Sayaka. She's just trying to find her people. Sayaka? Once we got into junior high, we started going to school with kids from other districts. The classes just grew and grew. The two of us ended up in different classes. So in the beginning of that first year, Sayaka and I didn't have the chance to see each other much.
みんなと仲良くなりたくて、仲間外れにされたくなくて、興味のないドラマをチェックして話を合わせようともしたけど。おはよう。教えてくれたドラマ見てみたよ。あ、そうなんだ。それよりさ、昨日見に行った映画が面白くて。そう終わった後めっちゃ語ったよね。二人で行ったの？うん、木田さんはあまり好きそうなジャンルじゃなかったから誘わなかったの。
Aww.
だってホラーとかそういうのしか興味ないじゃん。そんなこと。いいよ、無理しなくて。あ、そうだ、みゆちゃんさ、今日の放課後暇？
Aw, that's not very nice.
うん、空いてる。っていうか、私も最後誘おうと思ってた。
Well, that's so rude. I mean, it's like you're allowed to hang out with whoever you want to hang out with, but it does look like you're rubbing it in.
どこで何を間違えたのか、彼女たちに合わせようとするたびに空回り。
Those are not your friends.
他に気が合いそうな子を見つけようにも、クラスにはもうグループが出来上がっていた。そして私に話しかけてくる人は一人もいなくなって、学校に行きたくなくて数日間この海を眺めに来ていた。どうしてこうなっちゃったんだろう。自分から誰かに話しかけることも、まるで自分が幽霊になったような暗い日々に耐えられなかった。
Poor Sayaka.
そういえば小学校の頃ここでよく遊んでたっけ。私とあの子で放課後にちょっと足伸ばして。
Oh. Sayaka. I had a feeling you'd be here. Sayaka, what are you doing?
どうして学校はどうしたの。
I'm playing hooky.
なんでサボってまで。おばさん、そういうの厳しいのに。
Well, I was looking for my friend. I heard your teacher say that you haven't been coming to class recently.
それは。
Hey, I thought of something. Next year, let's pick the same elective so we'll end up in the same class.
ここからだったと思う。私が彼女に執着したのは、彼女なしでいられなくなったのは。
Oh.
だから私は離れていく彼女を引き止めるために。
No. She just loves us a lot, man. I opened my eyes after seeing the vision of Sayaka's past to find a concerned Senna staring down at me.
よかった。気がついたみたいでほっとしたよ。
Hi, Mochi. Do you want a little yak chew? Yak chew? 1 second. Here you go. Okay. Alrighty. I got a little yak milk chew so that Mochi would have something to entertain herself with. Oh, sorry. I guess I made you worry about me. I was glad to see the memories, but it would have been nice not to pass out every time I did. But this time it was Sayaka's memory. I think this gives me a better understanding of how all this involves her.
ねえ、大丈夫？
Yeah, I'm fine. Low blood sugar happens all the time. Don't worry about it.
それでも無理はしないでね。本当は君を病院へ連れて行こうとしたんだけど、君を抱きかかえた瞬間、どういうわけか変な映像が。
Senna's condition was changing rapidly. His eyes wavered and he looked confused.
さ
Senna?
変なことを聞くけど、僕たちって初対面だよね。ごめん、変なこと言って。でも自分の知らない君との思い出が。
It's not the first time. Without thinking, I blurted out the words. The truth is, we've met before. Yesterday, and the day before that, and the day before that too. He stared back at me, stunned, silent. Then finally,
僕、なんで忘れてるんだろう。
as he mumbled silently, I wondered if I should tell him the truth. But I wasn't sure if it was wise to confuse him any more at this moment. Surprise! Surprise! I'm your wife! That's right, my name. If I tell him my name, he might remember. Senna, listen to me. My name is...
言わないで。
Hi, Pookie. You're dead. And me too. Guess who's hanging out in eternity? You and me.
自分で思い出したいんだ。そうしないといけないってなぜか思うから。
Ah. Well then, if it really is love at first sight, you won't forget me. Was it because I said that to him? I should probably leave the rest to Senna at this point. He had to figure this out on his own, otherwise there was no point to it. Fortunately, he seemed to understand that he had forgotten something. All he had to do now was remember. Okay, I'll wait. I'll wait for you to call me by my name.
ありがとう。それと、ごめんね。忘れるなんて。どうかしてるよね。
You haven't forgotten me, right?
え?
Just because you can't remember doesn't mean you've forgotten. Alright. I don't know. Okay. I spoke with a smile and he responded with an apologetic grin. Yeah. Yeah. Green Yoshi was like, yeah. That wasn't the strongest line in this visual novel now. Just because you're not alive doesn't mean you're dead. And other things that don't make sense. Yeah, denial.
そうだね。こんな素敵な子は忘れない。必ず思い出すから。待っていて。
Of course. I parted ways with Senna and went on a walk by myself to think. To think about Sayaka. The visions I saw today were unlike anything I'd seen before. They weren't my memories, they were hers. But it was related to the accident. An unpleasant feeling spread through my chest. Sayaka said she's obsessed with me. Why are you so obsessed with me? In my memory, that's why she said she cast that spell, but that led me to think about what she was planning to do now. She said she wanted to save me. She's doing it for herself. She's trying to make it up to me. She's trying to make it up to me. Or she's trying to chase me into the afterlife. She's only trying to apologize to me. She cared about me. That's why she cast that spell. Besides, it was wrong to put all the blame on Sayaka. It was partly my fault, too. Thinking about Sayaka, my heart began to ache. Her face filled with tears, telling me how sorry she was for what she did. I had to stop her from whatever she was trying to do. She'd already apologized to me. That's why I had to stop her from whatever weird thing she was planning. I had no idea if her spells had any power, influence, or chance of success, but still. Having lived in this strange world, I knew how dangerous interfering with the affairs of spirits could be for the living. Sayaka must be at school right now. I hurried off to school. I wouldn't be able to talk with her, but at the very least, I might be able to find out what she's up to. Just as I was about to start running, I saw a figure approach from the other side of the road. Ah, Koyo. He seemed to have already spotted me and was headed straight for me.
セナ、どんな感じ?
I was just with him. He didn't remember me, but it seems like he was aware that he'd forgotten me.
マジかよ。すごい。何か変化があればって思ってたけど、こんなに早く現れるとは思ってなかった。ありがとう。
Of course. I'm really happy about it too. I'll be sure to visit him tomorrow, and the next day too. I'll keep going until he remembers me. I spoke with a smile, but Koyo looked back at me with a frown.
あんただって成仏しなきゃだろ。だから何度もっていうのはなし。 俺から頼み込んでおいて何言ってんだよって感じだと思うけど、俺はあんたにも成仏してほしい。
The look on his face was so serious, I felt as though there was nothing I could say in response. He was clearly worried I was losing focus. That's why I'm headed back to school. There's something there I need to check out. And the next day, and the next day, and the next day. Yeah. Forever.
それなら俺もついていく。手伝わせて。
It's all right. You don't have to worry about me.
俺が大丈夫じゃないの。ほら行くぞ。
He began walking ahead of me, and I followed along behind him. We arrived at school, and it appeared the morning classes had just begun. My class was currently studying math, and I saw Sayaka feverishly scribbling notes.
気になっていたことって友達のことだったのか。
Yeah, she's in that seat over there. She said something about trying to save me.
救うってどういう意味で？
I don't know. That's why I'm worried. Koyo, seeming to understand what I was getting at, nodded silently. First things first, I thought it best to just keep an eye on what she's up to. Then, completely ignoring me, Koyo glided into the classroom and began looking over Sayaka's shoulder to read her notes.
ねえ、こっち来てみて。
I strode over to him and glanced at where he was pointing on Sayaka's notes. What? Her notebook wasn't filled with notes on math. Instead, it was filled with all kinds of strange notes and information. The red letters in particular stood out. Grasp of the mirror. Spirit board. No, that's a Ouija board. I don't like those. I don't like them. I am a chicken. I don't like scary things, but there are certain scary things that are like too far too scary. Like, yeah, like if somebody tried to like walk into my house with a Ouija board, I would send them out. I'd be like, no, we don't do that here. You keep that business to yourself. You could do that in the street. Not here, not under my roof. Yeah, yeah. Pass on Ouija board. Yeah, they're not good. I agree. Like even I think I've mentioned before. It's like I believe in ghosts, but I don't want to believe in ghosts. I don't want to, but I do. And so yeah, I can't see the upside of like reaching out and being like, "Hello, sup." And then they tell me something. No, thank you. No, thank you. I wonder if ghosts are like really annoyed with like people doing that. You know, like if it's kind of like on par with like, people on. I've not really been on a dating app, but what I hear is like people will be like, like hey, like their response is hey. And it's like, that's not a good opener. Like, this doesn't make me feel super compelled to be like, hey, back. So I wonder if that's what, like, spirits are like. It's like, another Ouija board. they're asking how I died. It's like, guys, just read the newspaper. It's in the obituary. It's like, ask me something interesting. Yeah, Shadow. I'm glad you agree. I don't mess with it. Don't mess with things. It's supernatural. It is not of nature. You know. Pardon me. I had a sip of water. I tried to take a closer look, but then.
黒板にある問いに答えなさい。
はい。
Upon being called on by the teacher, Sayaka quickly closed her notebook. I wanted to take a closer look.
いや、今のでなんとなくわかった。
Seriously? You only looked at it for a second.
引きずり鏡とこっくりさんには 取り消すように線が引かれてただろ。それって試してみたけどダメだったってことじゃない。
That makes sense. She was into the occult after all. I could chalk it up to Sayaka being Sayaka, but there's something I can't quite let go of. The spirit board is like a seance, right? I don't know much about the rumors of the boy in the mirror, just that it's one of the school's 7 wonders. Ah, that's right. Maybe I should ask the spirit board or the boy in the mirror what she's planning.
あんた、怖がりのくせしてとんでもないこと考えるな。
Well, I've got to protect my friend. I'm afraid my friend's involved with something dangerous. I've got no choice but to protect her. With that, Koyo smiled.
ま、俺もあんたと同じ選択をするだろうな。
You already do, don't you? You're doing everything you can to help Senna, right? Koyo's face flushed red with embarrassment. Seeing him like this, it was my turn to smile.
ニヤニヤしててキモいんだけど。
Right, right. Whatever you say. His words didn't bother me. I knew he was just embarrassed. Koyo was familiar with the rumors of the boy in the mirror, and he told me about them as we headed toward the mirror. Just as we arrived, I remembered. Come to think of it, yesterday, Sayaka had been in front of that mirror early in the morning.
鏡を見るためだけに閉まっている校門を乗り越えてきたわけではないでしょ。
早くに学校へ来たのは昨日うっかりしていて教科書を忘れて帰ってしまったんです。
Was she trying to do something with the mirror then? Then in the classroom when I thought she was studying diligently, she wasn't studying, she was just writing the results of what happened. Koyo was right. She'd already tried this one. That's why she crossed it out on her notes. I looked at the mirror in front of me and took a deep breath. Is anyone there? If so, please show yourself. Immediately, I heard a soft chuckle next to me, right in my ear.
悪い。でも声かけるより中に入ったらいいんじゃない？
We could just do that?
これが本当に怪談話の通りなら、鏡の中に幽霊がいるってことになる。
Alright, we're gonna see our yandere boyfriendo.
なら幽霊同士だし、俺たちも入れるだろう。
Yeah, I guess you're right. No! Yeah. Maybe he won't be crazy in this one. I kind of feel embarrassed for shouting into the mirror like that. He might be perfectly normal in this playthrough. Yeah, according to the rumor I heard from Koyo, if you placed your hand on the mirror, you'd get pulled in. Well then, I'll go first. Then, just as I put my hand to the mirror, it stopped, as though I was touching a wall. I immediately turned to look at Koyo, who merely stared back at me. I can't get in. He seemed a bit flustered after speaking so confidently before.
いやいや、絶対にこの中にいるんだって。俺の霊感がいるって言ってるし。
Wait, you've never met this ghost before?
てか、俺たちが物に触れられることがまずおかしい。
Aw, this guy. He's very armchair theorist, right? I knew he was just trying to change the topic, but he was right. That was the stranger issue
そ
here.
れの中には確かに幽霊がいる。
Matpat. Koyo and I jumped. Kureha stood behind us, an unamused look on his
まっ
face.
たく騒がしいと思えば何をやっているんだ。
Red guy, that's right. Sorry, we weren't trying to be loud, but we need to talk with the ghost in the mirror.
どういう用事なのかは聞かないが、それに話しかけても無駄だぞ。引きこもっていて出てこないからな。 それにどういう仕掛けか鏡に入ることはかなわない。
Seriously? But there's something I really need to ask the ghost.
でもいることはいるんでしょ。
なあ、姿を見たことはあるからな。
ちなみになんで姿を現したの？
あれはいつだったか、鏡のそばにいた生徒たちがスマートフォンを操っていてな。その画面をこっそり鏡から盗み見ているような、そんな感じだった。
Sharing is caring, crazy guy. Open up. Ali Ali accent free. You mean like it's into smartphones?
さあな。大音量で音楽をかけていて、教師に怒られていたのを覚えている。
Maybe it likes music? Koyo, you've got a smartphone. Why don't you take it out for a minute? Koyo obediently took out his phone from inside his pocket. He waved it around in front of the mirror.
何も起きない。
Then maybe it likes music? Hey, Koyo, sing a song. Koyo glared at me with icy eyes. Okay, fine. Got it. You're not a singer.
鏡の幽霊のことは諦めた方がいいだろ
Come get the phone. Yeah. Put the really annoying. Well, you know, remember those old ringtones that are really annoying? Just till he comes like stomping up and he's like, "Hey, pick that up! Cut this shit out!" Oh man. We're just terrorizing this ghost. And with that final word of advice, Kureha walked away. Guess we've got no choice but to give up. I took one last glance at the mirror, but saw nothing there. Just play an iPhone alarm on max, he'll come out. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
まだ音楽は試してないじゃん。
Alright. Oh yeah, play your Spotify playlist for him. And he'll walk up and go, skip! Okay, well, as ghosts, it's not like we can make music, right?
いや、ある。
We can? Huh?
セナがいるだろ。あいつなら歌える。
I didn't think about that. We got a pop idol among us. Yeah. Wow, we're gonna do a concert in the school? With that, the two of us went off in search of Senna to bring him back to the mirror. It took a while to find him, and it was evening by the time we got back to the school.
うわ
Ghost
ー、学校懐か
mixtape!
しいね。
Private
ここの
concert!
鏡の前でよくダンスの練習してたな。
Shadow. Koyo does not seem like the type who would pay for Spotify Premium. Yeah. Interesting. I guess he doesn't have to. He's got his own, iPod right here with the, with this idol. That's his best friend. So it's just like, hey, sing me a song. Sing me a night-night song. Senna, I didn't know you went to Narimegahama High.
そうだよ。紅葉も同じ。ね、紅葉。
Upon Senna's prodding, Koyo merely nodded. I knew Narimegahama was Senna's hometown, but I had no idea he went to this high school. Definitely has an APK version with that. Oh, you know what? Maybe he would not pay for his own Spotify Premium, but he would use Senna's and just make his own lists. Maybe. I can see that. Because Senna would have it. Family version.
それで僕は何をしたらいいの？
Well, we want you to look into that mirror and sing. Before I could finish speaking, Koyo tapped me on the shoulder and pointed to the mirror. Following his finger, I saw... Hey! There in the mirror stood a young boy. Oh no! expecting that sound to come out. That was Senna's scream. Wow. Hold on. Hold up. Oh no. Wow. I didn't think he would scream like that. Well. No. That was the pop idol. Yeah. Not me. Not the crazy guy. This game's bananas. That's so funny. That's our pop idol. He's going to start a rock and roll song now. That sounds like a Kiss, kind of lead in. Yeah, I appreciated that as well. Not knowing that he too was a ghost, Senna's screams echoed through the halls. If I thought I was alive, I'd probably have the same reaction. Oh, he knows. Huh? He knows him? The young boy stared at Senna as though he was somebody that he deeply admired. Oh, very cultured. Senna, for his part, was completely unable to reply. He'd fallen to the floor in total shock.
引きこもりって設定じゃなかった。
That's not important. Thanks to Senna, this is our chance. I took one step toward the mirror and started speaking to the boy. There's something I need to ask you. The boy's line of sight shifted from Senna to me. The brightness that had been in his eyes faded and was replaced with fear. Yesterday morning, a girl, a student, she came here, didn't she? She's a little shorter than me? Brown hair down to her shoulders? The boy's gaze wandered and he stayed silent. Please, I want to know what she said to you. I'm begging you, please tell me. The boy repeatedly opened and closed his mouth and began to step away from the mirror. Wait!
響くんって言ったよね。
At Senna's voice, the boy stopped.
今、彼女が言ったことで何か知っているなら教えてほしい。
Yeah.
お願いします。
I mean, I think foul on us for, not even introducing ourselves to Ghost Boy in this. Basically, he saw a pop idol, and then all of a sudden, I was just like, hey, did you see a girl? So I get it. Thank you, Senna. I thanked him from the bottom of my heart, and then heard a voice from the mirror.
確かに来ました。多分。あなたの言う女の子なのかわからないんですけど。
引きずり鏡様、あなたはこの世ならざる世界に人を引きずり込むと聞きました。それが本当ならお願いします。どうか私をあの世に導いて。
She is trying to chase me into the afterlife.
今もさまよっているはずの私の親友に会わせてください。
そう僕に懇願してきたんです。でもすぐに先生に見つかって。
Everything he told us seemed to match up with the scene I saw unfold yesterday. That was most likely Sayaka. Sayaka's the only one who would think to do something like that.
あんたに会うためにあの世に行きたいって。
Yeah, fan activities, for real. Koyo was about to say something else, but quickly closed his mouth.
僕の鏡はあの世なんかに繋がっていないです。だから引きずり込んでなんかないです。
Hibiki spoke with such nervous force, I smiled to reassure him. You don't seem like the type of person to do that, Hibiki. Don't worry.
ありがとう。
よくわからないけど、聞きたいことは聞けたのかな？
Yes, I did. Thank you. Though I still don't know exactly what Sayaka was planning. There's only one thing left to try. The spirit board. His loud voice surprised me, and he seemed quite taken aback.
こっくりさんはやったらダメです。いたずらに呼んでいいものじゃないから。
I agree with the ghost. The ghost even says, "Oh, you shouldn't mess with that." That feels like the biggest endorsement. It's like, oh, yeah, no, don't do that.
それやったことあるやつの言葉。
Hibiki's body trembled in response.
こらこうよ。僕のファンを怖がらせないでよ。
You have a very bad feeling about what is going to happen? Oh no. I'm not sure where it's gonna land. Let's see.
ファン。
Hibiki looked so happy, as though he'd never been scared in the first place. Senna flashed Hibiki a winning smile. Look at this, look at this. Aww. Even if he was still sitting on the floor.
こっくりさんはとっても優しいあやかしです。だからあまり迷惑になることはしてほしくないんです。
Had something happened between them? Either way, he didn't look ready to tell us. I won't be causing any trouble. The truth is, I need information about a dear friend of mine.
友達ですか。さっきの女子生徒のことですか。
That's right. She's in trouble, and I want to stop her from doing something dangerous. Hibiki looked around, seemingly lost, before pulling something from his uniform pocket. Then he gently reached his hand outside the mirror and placed it on the ground.
それはこっくりさんを呼び出す道具です。あなたを信じて貸します。
Ooh, okay. Thank you so much. As I shouted excitedly, Hibiki's cheeks flushed. No, look at him.
これから儀式の方法を教えるので、しっかり覚えてください。
After that, he taught me how to summon the spirit of the board, and I committed the whole thing to memory. Ooh, I'm scared too, Shadow. 2 items are required to perform the spirit board ritual. It's vital to learn all the steps of the ritual beforehand, because if you make a mistake, you will be in big trouble. Yeah, like this feels like like a D&D dice roll that's gonna go wrong. It's like, yeah, let's do the ritual. 1. No. Crit fail. Then, his eyes sparkling like before, he shook hands with Senna and disappeared back to the other side of the mirror. Oh, that's nice. I'm sure that's a big day for a ghost who works or lives in a high school. It was like, you're a pop star? Oh my gosh. I said goodbye to Koyo. Oops. Let's see. Said goodbye to Koyo and Senna after that and headed straight for the nurse's office. I wanted to use the spirit board right away, but was told evening was the best time to do it. So the time of day has something to do with it. I decided to spend the time chatting with Yui in the nurse's office. Right? They're about to do something that requires the DM to ask, are you sure about that? Spooky hours, indeed. Man, I imagine it must be very difficult as a DM to kind of... It's just like, we would like to do the most bonkers, wacky thing ever. And it's like, wait, okay. Roll something ridiculous and maybe I won't have to do anything about this. And then they roll amazing and it's just like, ah, shit. Now I gotta come up with story. Blah. Huh. It doesn't look like she's here. It was the first time I hadn't been able to find her here. Yesterday, she mentioned she wanted to gather the courage to head outside. Yeah, roll a 20. Everybody supports. Everybody does it. She seemed to be working very hard on herself recently. I took the career path survey out of my pocket and looked it over. I still can't remember if something or someone pushed me that day. I let out a loud sigh. I didn't feel like waiting here by myself. Maybe I should go out for a bit. Maybe I'll bump into someone. Besides, some fresh air could do some good. Alright, we want to go to the station. I mean, in our heart of hearts, we want to go to where Senna is. But for this playthrough, we will go to where Koyo is. As I looked around in the hustle and bustle of the station.
こんなところで何やってんの?
Ah, Koyo! I thought I'd take a walk to clear my head. What about you?
ちょっと聞き込み中。
Information? About what?
知りたいことっていうか、探してるもんがあって。
Okay, very vague. What the heck is he talking about?
でもそろそろ切り上げようと思ってたから、あんたが来てくれてちょうどよかった。
What does that mean?
俺も息抜きしたいってこと。暇ならその辺歩きながら話そう。
Oh, he looks really cute here. No, look at him. Guess it really was perfect timing. Sure, I'd like that. What should we talk about? Food? Food? I've been thinking about it ever since I died, but being stuck in a body that can't eat food, it sure is terrible, huh? Love, yeah. Too soon, too soon. I used to love ordering sweets and desserts at the cafe. Only being able to look at all the freshly baked goods at the cafe sure is rough.
ああ、それ俺もわかる。ちょっとあんたとは理由違うけど、食いながら好きな映画流したりしてリラックスできる瞬間だったなって。
Both of our favorite things sound surprisingly normal. I guess you really don't know what you have until it's gone.
死者あるあるだな。まあ、今はこの幽霊ライフも悪くないって思うけど。
I feel that way too, Green Yoshi, that like love would make him too awkward and embarrassed and he'd shut down. What do you mean? Why are you staring at me?
誰かさんが現れてから忙しくなったなと思って。
Well, I'm sorry to have troubled you.
いいんじゃない？悪くないって言ってんだから。
Huh? Should I be happy about that? Koyo smiled as though he was enjoying this. I got the feeling his not bad actually meant good. I feel like I've gotten to know Koyo a little better, and that makes me happy. After we finished talking, I finally gathered the courage to visit my house. I hadn't totally prepared myself to go inside, however. I wonder how my mom and sister are holding up. When I had seen my sister yesterday with Sayaka, she seemed to be doing all right, which left me feeling very relieved. But, Mom? The last time I spoke to my mom, we fought about what I was going to do with my life. I'm sorry I said I didn't want to go to Seigen. Even if I was alive, I didn't know if I could have done exactly what my mom wanted. My future and my career didn't matter anymore, but my heart still ached as I thought about them. If I was still alive, what would I have done? Would I really have convinced my mom to let me follow my own path? Even now, I had no idea what I wanted to do. This is stupid. I don't have to think about this kind of thing anymore. I tried to get that out of my mind. Then...
やっぱりそうだ。遠くから見つけて、あなたかなって思ったんだ。
That's right, her. Whew. Daika. It was the third time I'd met her. Yeah, she's probably gonna be trouble. She's an obsessed fan of either Senna or... If it's not Senna, it could be Koyo, because Koyo was like a streamer. So, like, they're both, you know, famous. My heart filled with a mixture of fear and dread.
あなたを探していたの。話したいことがあって。
Yeah, Monster Energy. Yeah, I think that would be the kind of, the plot twist. Yeah, yeah. As she took one step toward me, I instinctively took one step back.
ねえ、どうして逃げるの？後ろめたいことがあるからよね。
Yeah, she kind of like low-key, like, not like threatened us, but it's just like, oh, along the lines of like, you better watch your back kind of thing about like, you know, be careful who you're around because I might not like that kind of feeling.
夜空のことで。
Yozora? Koyo's streamer name when he was alive and worked as a streamer. His channel focused on horror and it was supposedly very popular. Apparently, most of the viewers were girls. Oh, we done did it! Otome detectives on the case! Yup. I figure something must have happened. At first, I didn't know who she meant. But I soon figured it out. She was talking about Koyo. Do you mean Koyo?
こうよさん。ね。はあ、分かってないんだな。夜空はね、麗華の彼氏なの。今、サプライズを計画しているの。
I think she mentioned looking for him the first time we met her. Yeah, yeah. She mentioned she was looking for her boyfriend. We just didn't know who her boyfriend was. So this is the reveal. Uh-oh. Huh? Yeah. I think she's definitely playing the chase me into the afterlife game with Koyo. Koyo and Reika are together? I had no idea. Koyo and I had never really talked about our romantic lives before. I had no idea the two of them were a couple.
でもね、夜空を見に行くたびにあなたがそばにいるからすっごくイライラしてたまらない。
I didn't know. I'm sorry.
いいの。知らなかったなら仕方ないもん。でもこれでわかったよね。
I nodded repeatedly and Reika stopped walking toward me.
麗華のこと夜空に言わないでね。サプライズが台無しになっちゃう。
You're not gonna like that surprise. You know what? I wonder, like, we don't know how Koyo passed, but what if she was like a crazy fangirl that like murdered him? That was his demise, and then she, you know, she also, like I said, chased him into the afterlife. Ugh. Yeah. Oh. I could see that. Yeah. Oh. All right. I mean, this is a different level of. It's crazy. Got it. I won't say a word. I promise. Reika smiled and let out a high-pitched giggle before disappearing into the night. I had no idea Reika and Koyo were a couple. I continued to walk as I thought about what had happened, eventually ending up at the park. That incident with Reika before had been quite frightening. Your theory is that energy drinks took him out. Yeah. He's just too hopped up on uppers, i.e. energy drinks. I grew quite worried about how I would react the next time I saw Koyo.
また会ったね。
I looked around, searching for the source of the voice that called out to me.
こ
Where?
っち下。
A little further down the road, I spotted Koyo and Senna laying down on the grass. There's Koyo. What are you guys doing down there? Senna stood up and began walking toward me, before tightly gripping my hand in his.
君も一緒に星を見ようよ。
Oh, that's sweet. Senna quickly pulled my arm to where the two of them had been laying. I'm laying right next to Koyo. I prayed that Reika was nowhere nearby to watch this scene unfold. In order to avoid any confusion, I scooted over towards Senna. Ooh! Ooh!
何俺のそばが嫌なわけ
Jelly? No, that's not it. Absolutely not. Reika detector, yeah.
変な口調怪しい
もうこうよったらこうよのことが嫌なわけじゃないよ
Yes, yes, that's exactly right.
彼女は僕のそばに来たくて僕
Hey,
の方に寄ってきたんだよ
I mean, he's not wrong. Right, right. Wait, what?
ふんセナがタイプなんだ
No, it's not like
っ
that.
てことはセナの勘違いかセナお疲れ
Oh, this guy. I mean,
でもこれからだからねうん
listen, listen, listen. I mean, you guys can duke it out. It's fine. Woo me, please. What are they?
ほらとりあえずさ君も横になって星空鑑賞会しよう
Listen, 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 listen. Listen. How about you both give me a kiss at the same time on my cheeks? How about that? But I still had my reservations, but I knew any more protests would make them even more suspicious. Maybe it won't bother Reika if Senna's here too? The hair has to go, then we can talk. I hoped that would be the case and lay down on the grass between the two of them. Wait, who's here? Whose hair do you not
今
like?
流れたよ
Oh, look at him. Oh, monster, yeah. Oh. I missed it.
本当に流れた全然見えなかったけど
I couldn't help but wonder when the last time I looked up at the night sky like was. Or, sorry, I messed that up. I looked up at the night sky like this was. Okay, that wasn't me. Couldn't help but wonder when the last time I looked up at the night sky like this was. Okay, that was me. I wonder if that is the default Otome gamer hair because Leviathan from Obey Me is the same way. It is. Yeah, that's probably standard fare. There's that, and then usually a long-haired one, maybe sometimes a buzz cut one. Infrequent about the buzz cut though. Usually it's very like Cloud Final Fantasy hair. At the very least, I hadn't done it since becoming a high school student.
僕と紅葉は子供の時からこうやって星空を眺めていたんだ
A stargazing club, a club both Koyo and Senna had been in since childhood. The two grew up together in Nare Megahama, and on nights when they were bored, they went to the grassy plaza at the nearby beachfront park to talk under the starry night. Aww. Yeah, they're childhood friends. It's sweet.
お互い家を抜け出して待ち合わせは決まってこの芝生広場学校のことテレビや漫画の話それから将来の夢を話したりしてさ
Yeah. Friends fighting for our attention. Or, you know, being cool with like with being like, yeah, you could date my best friend, whatever. Carrie, hello. welcome. You messaged earlier and I'm sorry I missed it in the throng of messages, but welcome. Good to see ya. Yes, we are getting in between them. But or we could be, you know, like another glue that keeps them together. So, you know. Let's see. This reminds you of Axel, Roxas, and Zot. Oh, yeah. That's funny.
セナばっかり話してたよな俺は大体聞き役
そうだったね。でもこうよ、聞いてると思ったら寝ちゃってた時もあったじゃない。
子守歌かと思って。
Oh.
もう意地悪だな。
Super sleepy? Oh, I see, Carrie. Well, I hope that you get very, very restful sleep tonight, whenever you decide to do that. As I listened to the two of them, I tried to imagine them as kids. They must have enjoyed each other's company the same as they do now. Ah, another shooting star!
見た見た。
Make a wish, make a wish!
今のは俺にも見えた。
Under the twinkling night sky, we took turns pointing out shooting stars and making wishes. I wish the three of us will someday find peace. As a throuple in the afterlife. I wished it from the bottom of my heart. Oh, that was a sweet one. It's nice to not end on like a terrifying cliffhanger. Glad we did not spirit board after all. So let's see, let me give it a good save. But yay! Okay, that was cool. Oh, I'm very excited to see how this story develops. It's so different from the other playthrough. So, alrighty. With that, thank y'all so much for hanging out with me. I hope y'all had fun. I had a lot of fun getting to chat with y'all. I love getting further in this story. So, yeah, I can't wait to see what else comes. As far as like next stream, my next stream is tomorrow on Valentine's, Palentine's. I'm calling it Spa Day, Single People Awareness Day. So if you want to just hang out and yeah, I'll be doing that tomorrow on Iriam. But yeah, I'm not sure of all the activities, but I think like a little bit of self-care is in order. And then we can talk about whatever. Yeah. Yay! I'm so glad to hear that. Awesome. Yeah. So with that, let's see. Last time we rated Quest in 24/7, so I think we'll do that again. Quest, yeah. So yes, I'll be so happy to see y'all. Even if you can only pop in for a little bit, that's totally fine. Yeah. So, and it's a little earlier than I do them, but that's okay. Yeah, probably won't be too long. So, yay! Oh, nice, Shadow. I'm so glad. Yeah, I feel like I rotate like what like rabbit hole I'm gonna go down. So like I was definitely on a YouTube like binge for a while, and yeah, I keep going back and forth. So alrighty, so I'm gonna give us a raid. Yeah, thanks again. I hope y'all have a really great night, and I'll hope to see you again soon. Okay, let's get ready to raid. Boop boop boop. Night night.